Let it burn. Let it burn away all that no longer serves. Let it burn from passion. This is what you and I will be getting into today. As you begin to devote yourself to being a light maker, as you begin to devote yourself to turning within and learning more deeply, more truly, the truth of who you are, the treasure that you are. And that itself begins to burn away whatever no longer serves, whatever beliefs or activities or choices you have made. Let them burn. I am Reverend Amani Malaika. If you are new here, I am so glad you are with us. And if you are returning, welcome back. I want to make sure you know that you have an opportunity to let it burn and begin to deepen in this practice of being wholly, completely, truly who you are, a light maker on bringing good and greater good to this world with others in community, a community of practice. You can do that online. You can do that in person. You can go to our website, abqcsl.org. And if you haven't already downloaded our app, Spirit Flow, I invite you to do so, where you will be given tools, spiritual practices, journal prompts, and connection with other human beings doing this work. You can also join us in person here in the Albuquerque area at 4 p.m. Sunday afternoons. I encourage you to join a community of practice and dive into this work in such a supported and loved way. Because letting it burn, letting burn away all that no longer serves is part of this work. I want to share with you a quote from Eric Butterworth in his book, The Creative Life. There's a hidden genius in each person, which we each give expression to through commitment, discipline, enthusiasm, and passion. We each have a hidden genius, is unique to you, but that hidden genius is revealed through your divine nature, through the gifting that you have been given in this life. And to honor it, to bring it to life, to devote yourself to your own nature requires commitment and discipline, enthusiasm and passion. And I don't know about you, but commitment and discipline have not been my superpowers in this life. You know, committing myself, structuring, creating rules for myself so that I can honor my true nature, so that I can stay connected to what lights me up, has been a journey. You know, discovering my genius has been a journey. And I look back at my life and it's been there all along, right? And those original report cards in elementary school that said she talks too much. Over and over again, she talks too much and she's easily distracted. Anybody else have some of that in those elementary school report cards? But what I have discovered in that she talks too much is that it is my nature. It is my gifting to run my mouth. It is why I am sitting before you today on this screen running my mouth. But had I allowed myself to stay ashamed about the running of my mouth, about the talking, the over-talking, the over-running of my mouth, I would not have discovered a way to contribute, a way to offer more love to the planet through this gift that I have, that I can just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and hopefully offer some words of encouragement, some words of inspiration, some words that may land in your being to help you move more deeply into your own genius and gifting. And I've had to commit myself to practice around that so that I can mind my words, so that my words are now given mindfully from this inner place, connected to the divine intelligence that I am able to connect with in my own practice and discipline. And I am inviting you into that as well. You know, discipline is not a sexy word the way that enthusiasm and passion are, but they go together. They go together, and I believe they give us, when we devote ourselves to living a spiritual life, to bringing ourselves alive wholly and fully and authentically and uniquely. We bring all of these practices, disciplines, spiritual laws, if you will, like devotion. We bring all of that in service to our greater being, in service to the greater good that you and I want to manifest on this planet, in service to the greater good that is you, fully alive as exactly who you are. And in order for me to stay connected to that truth, in order for me to show up courageously in the world with the words that I have to offer, the truth that is resonant for me, that I believe can help others, I have to double down on my commitment to that work and my discipline so that I can stay close to my truth, stay close to my divinity, stay close to my values that are inherently connected to the world that I want to see, to the life that I really want to be living, to the love that I want to deeply experience. And those values have to be more than talk, more than words. And I don't know that I could stay committed or disciplined in my practice, getting on my yoga mat every day, finding the quiet time and the meditation time and the prayer time, going to bed early so that I can be rested, napping. These are all disciplines that I have committed myself to stay close to myself, to my truth, to my divine nature. And what helps me activate those commitments, get into those disciplines, stay with them when I am resistant and don't want to, is my passion and enthusiasm. Which is why it's so important that you find that genius that is in you, that thing that lights you up in you, because it will give you the motivation to get into the commitments and the disciplines required for you, which I know is not always easy. Finding the time in your life to sit still and be. One of the spiritual laws that I believe to be true is that when you and I are attempting to manifest anything in the world, particularly greater good for the planet, it requires a structure of being, then doing, and then having. You know, that's how the law works. You must be what it is you want to have. And from that place of being what it is that you want, whether that's more love, and let's just know that everyone longs for more love. The planet is screaming in its longing for more love. So in order to have more love, first I have to be love. What does that mean? How do I connect to this greater capital L love that is far beyond the hallmark love, that is far beyond the romantic love? This greater love, also known as God, the divine, Allah, the infinite. Finding your way into the being of that love. is the first step, is the first commitment. And the practices that help you do that is the place you become disciplined around. And as I have journeyed in my own process of discovering the love that I am, in that discovery, I have learned some things that I believed that are simply untrue. Some shame that I inherited, a false narrative about what really matters. The hustle, the grind, the productivity, the earning. What I thought I was supposed to value in this life. The shiny new things, the new devices, the new cars. All of these values that I was given and told that these are the most important things. Your 401k is the most important thing. Maybe not. And so as I practice the being of love, it reveals to me what is untrue in my own consciousness. What I have agreed to that I don't actually believe. And so I allow that love, the thing that I actually value, the goodness and the truth that I actually long for, I allow that to burn away and reveal to me, clear the smoke of the bullshit. That is the burning you and I begin to engage in when we come closer to what is true. This love that wants to reveal itself through you. And in that burning away, in that releasing of false belief and bullshit inherited narratives and ridiculous values that are actually not valuable to you, to me, to life itself, to humanity, to creation. As that burns away, we begin to be given from this place of being. When I know myself as love itself, it asks me to move in a new way. It asks me to do something different. Or maybe it asks me to do something more that I can be excited about, that I can get enthusiastic about, that I feel passionate about. Right? I am passionate about words and sound. And this thing in me that wants to rise and be expressed through my mouth, through my words, through my sound. Oh, I can get behind that. That passion, that enthusiasm, that joy, that delight, that can motivate me into new ways of being, new study, new activity. It can also motivate me to get on my yoga mat when sometimes it is the last thing I want to do, so that I can embody this love more fiercely in a committed, disciplined way. And if it's not something I'm passionate about, if it's not something I have enthusiasm and joy around, I'm probably not going to do it. This is how turning within and becoming intimate with your own being begins to change the world. Because you get to hook into and feel that joy and that juiciness and that delight. You get to become an embodiment of love itself, of the divine itself, which is your purpose on this planet. And then when you begin to move in new ways, when you begin to let burn away choices made based on false values and bullshit narratives, now I get to have more of that love, more of that joy, more of what I am enthusiastic about. I begin to resonate in this higher vibration and frequency, and I begin to then, magnetize to me and become drawn to more people and activities that are resonant with this truer, divine aspect of myself. And my life changes. Your life changes. John Maxwell said that our core beliefs and values are expressions of our soul. Our true values are expressions of what is true in you. And when you are feeling untethered, is a word I've heard shared recently. When you are feeling so shook by whatever is happening in your life or what you are witnessing in the world, that is information that something is out of sync. Something is disconnected, is not aligned with what is true. It should feel crappy. Despair is an appropriate response to circumstances and behavior that does not satisfy the soul. That is not an expression of the love and the divinity that you are, that we are. That life is, this life you and I share, is the life of the one, of the divine, of love. And so when things are out of sync, when things have gone awry, it should feel bad. It is asking for attention. Your soul is saying, hey, over here, some shit is not cool. And instead of being swallowed by that despair, by that rage, by whatever that discomfort is, allow it to be a pointer to coming back. Oh, okay. This is really rough. This feels horrible. The violence that we are perpetrating on each other is heartbreaking, is soul shaking. Let me come back to what I know works to bring me back to center. Let me feel that despair and that grief and that sadness and that rage. Because my body was gifted with emotion on purpose. Let me feel that all the way through. Let me cry the tears. Let me shake the fists. Let me shake it out. Feel it down to my toes. Let me light a candle in honor of the lives lost. Let me light a candle in honor of those who have lost their way. And let me breathe deeply and sink beneath the noise, sink beneath the grief, and touch base into my soul, into my heart, into my truth, and remember who I am, the being that I am, as a divine participant in this thing called life, who was appointed and anointed to be an expression of good, an expression of love, uniquely and perfectly on this planet. And just in that remembering, I am reminded that there is always peace available. And I breathe into that peace. And I am reminded that love is real. And here now, in my being, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that reminder. And I come back. And I come back again. and again and again. And I commit myself to that returning. I commit myself to the discipline of spiritual practice, of locating myself as a part of this infinite one, this beautiful thing called life, that I have been gifted to be not only a receptive place of love, but an expression of that love. And in my deep devotion to remembering, to being, I come back to what lights me up. I come back to that joy that lives right next to peace in my own being. And after I feel the despair and the rage and the whatever has got me shook, I am gifted with right action. I am gifted with loving action. And I make that choice. I want to share with you from the Lightmaker's Manifesto that I read the full manifesto in the last video. And if you have missed that, go back and check it out. When I fall, I rise, moving through any doubt I have in my abilities, because I have evidence to suggest otherwise. I have evidence that my words matter. I have evidence that my divine nature is here by divine appointment. So I ask you to find the evidence that genius in you, that unique divine emanation of the Holy Blessed One that is you, contributes good to this life. Look around you. Look around you at the beloveds that reflect that to you. Look around you for the evidence. It's everywhere. So when you fall, when you get shook and you feel off center, come back. Rise again. Karen goes on to say that I am self-compassionate. Compassion for the world begins with compassion for self. I love fiercely, and I refuse to succumb to hate, acrimony, or fury. Don't succumb. Feel it to the bottom, process it, light the candle, say the prayer, do the deep breaths, and return to love, to being the divine nature that you are. And she reminds us in the manifesto to believe. I believe joy, kindness, and celebration are acts of resistance. Acts of resistance. You and I resist the fury, resist the acrimony, resist the hate, resist the violence, resist the noise, resist the inner critic, resist the inherited shame. Because you in love, you in celebration, you in joy is the resistance. This is the fantastic future that becomes possible when you and I commit to being first. The love, the joy, the peace, the passion, the enthusiasm. The ones devoted to fantastic futures. The ones committed to doing what we must do to be the expression of greater good on this planet. Unleash your light. Unleash your love. This is the call. This is what becomes possible when you become intimate with the treasure that you are, with the passion and the joy and the love that exists in you, that is you. And you let that move you into doing and choosing new. Because that's how this shift begins to happen. That is how change comes into being. The transformation you long for greater good, comes when you return and choose something new. And again you choose, and again you choose. You are so worth it. You are worth committing to yourself, devoting yourself to the disciplines that serve your greater good so that you can become a part of the change and transformation that this life is calling for. Choose new. Choose from love. Choose from joy. Choose from peace again and again and again. This is my prayer. And so it is.